Hey guys, my name is Irene and we're actually setting up our bike right now. I'm going to focus on the 3 main settings that are important to set up your bike the right way. And then in the end, I'm going to hop on the bike and I'm just going to give you like a few points that are important to notice when you have set it up. Okay, so main thing is obviously the saddle height. Just try and feel where your hip bones are. So these little hard bits here in the front. And this is pretty much the height that you want to set your saddle on. So you would feel it. I would probably put mine a little bit higher up here. The nice thing is that you have the numbers on the saddle. So you can actually remember that number, which is very, very useful because you don't have to do that every single time. You actually remember that number and then you have that set. The next setting would be the distance from the saddle to the handlebar. You would put your elbow here, right, and then you come onto the handlebar, and there is like a bit of room, so you want to touch it, but it can also go a little bit over your handlebar, so like this. This is actually fine for me here. The last one would be the height of the handlebar. You can see this is pretty much on a similar height. It depends very much if you want to have it a bit more performance-y and sporty, then you might want to put the handlebar even a little bit lower than the saddle or on the same height. If you say you want to be a little bit more in a more upright position, then you can put the handlebar a little bit higher. I would prefer that always, to have the handlebar a little bit higher because it's a bit more back friendly. So I'd put that up a bit and then do the same thing here. Remember the number that it's on. I've obviously said that a few times, so I know my numbers. That helps. And then from here, those are the 3 settings. So height of the saddle, to the front, and the handlebar, that's all done. So when I'm getting onto the bike now, because this is really what in the end is the decider, and I'm not wearing the cycling shoes now, but it's very important that when you sit on the bike that you feel comfortable on the bike, okay? So if you notice now, this doesn't feel right, this feels too low, change it. Get off, change it, and then get your settings right. And even if you, after the ride, notice I need to change it, change it. One very important thing is that when you do ride, that you don't want your knee too far in front of your toes. So I'm just going to give you an example. Like, you don't want that happen the whole time, because then you have a lot of pressure on your knee and a lot of impact on it. So you want to have, when you're riding, when you're in that position here, that you almost like here, that this is like one line. Okay, and when you're in the bottom position, that you're not fully locked in your knee. So you do have a bit like a slight bend here. Holding the handlebar is something that I actually spoke to a few friends about it that said that they had like a bit of like wrist problems. It's because they're holding the handlebar like this and actually bending it here. So can you see it's all the impact here right on your wrist? You want to hold the handlebar on the side. You want to actually have like a nice straight flat wrist. So, and that's also where the core, I always talk about the powerhouse, comes in. Like, you don't want to like lean. This is not your position that you should be in. Okay, so you're not falling forward here. You're actually upright, getting your shoulders down, sucking that belly button in, holding this tight to support your back. And then all you do is really like from the side, you come here.